Brightburn. This is directed by David Yarovesky, produced by James Gunn, and starring Elizabeth Banks. And what Brightburn does is it takes the anti-superhero concept and mixes it with the horror genre, bringing them together. And if you ask me, that's pretty freaking awesome. And what else is awesome about this film is it takes the Superman concept. And if you've seen any of the trailers or know anything about this film, you can't help but discuss this without referencing the similarities between this and Superman. What this film does, what I really enjoy, is that it takes the concept of Superman, but it gives it the twist. What if Superman, Clark Kent, came to Earth, but he wasn't here to do good and to take care of everybody and to protect us? What if this all-powerful being from another world came to Earth for domination, for control, and committed all of these acts of evil? And that's what Brightburn deals with. Now, as awesome as the concept of this movie sounds, it will not work unless you have phenomenal actors and actresses. And fortunately for this film, they do. This cast knocked it out of the park. They did such an awesome job in their roles. Really brought these characters to life. Very believable, very realistic portrayals of everybody throughout the entire movie, and that really made this film work for me. Now, the two main characters that this story centers around are Elizabeth Banks, who plays the mother, and Jackson Dunn, who plays the son, aka Brightburn. Elizabeth Banks and her husband have tried and tried and tried for years to have a child. Nothing works. They're praying to God, they're praying to the universe, they're praying to anybody that will listen, as she says. And then one night out of nowhere, a UFO lands in their backyard, and inside they find this infant child who they take into their home, love, and raise to be their own. And now 10 years have passed. And that's when things start to get a little tense, a little uneasy. That's when this horror aspect starts to unfold, because you realize something is not right with that child. And the father, played by David Denman, he knows something is not right. But Elizabeth Banks, she refuses to acknowledge that anything could ever be wrong with that sweet child of theirs. But oh boy, there sure is. Another thing that I really liked about this film is that it starts with that slow burn and that build-up, and it gives you time to get a good backstory, to get to know these characters before all hell starts to break loose. But that's not to say that you don't get the horror aspect starting out, because you definitely do early on in the film. You feel the tension, the uneasiness, and it builds and builds and builds, and each time the stakes get higher, the intensity gets more. It's a really well-made film in that regard. But one of my biggest problems with this film was the fact that it was so predictable. And that's not just because so many of these scenes were spoiled in the trailer. It's not because of that. It's just, this is really nothing we haven't seen in the world of horror. I could have told you all the angles where this jump scare was going to happen, or how this scene was going to play out, or what this little twist might have been. It was very, very predictable. That's about the only real issue I have with this film. Overall, it's a good movie. It was very entertaining, and yes, I do recommend it. I'd give it a 7.5. The cast, like I said, best part about the movie, the concept, so cool. Music is great, scenery, cinematography, all of that good stuff. Other than being very predictable, it's a good film. Check it out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please leave me some comments and let me know your thoughts if you've seen this film. Go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed the review. And if you have not subscribed, I would love to have your support. Please click that subscribe button. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time.